£15,500 for the RS, £17,950 for the double R. That is a fair chunk of change. However, just look at it. It is absolutely stunning. I think, personally, especially in this red as well. Looks wise, every day I'm giving it to the double R. I think that's just a stunning bike. Round of applause for Triumph. However, the RS doesn't look bad, you know. In person, they're both quality built motorcycles, and you can see it as soon as you see them up close, which is good. Anywho, let's jump on. Yeah, there she is. So the overriding thing, the first thing you notice when you get on either of these, the RS or the double R, is that 1200cc. Oh, I believe it's 1160 to be exact. Pure triple Triumph engine. It's none of this cross-plane, T-plane crank stuff. It's a straight up triple 1200cc engine from Triumph, so it's really nice. Help yourself, sir. Thank you. So let's just chat about the engine as we're starting off here. It's 1160cc, 180 brake horsepower near enough, and 125 Newton meters of torque. So yeah, she's a powerful girl, exactly the same as in the double R guys. Oh, the quick shift is good. Everything on these two bikes is pretty much identical, bar the obvious things, the looks. The clip-on handlebars that the double R has. The RS is just the sort of naked version, really. So one other difference between the RS and the double R is the double R has electronic suspension, so slightly more trick flash suspension on the double R. This RS version, it's all fully adjustable, front and rear, Ohlins suspension. However, it's not electronically adjustable. That is probably their main difference, really, bar the looks. But first off, as we're in town, what's she like in town? Very easy, quite smooth, really. Nice smooth engine, and actually I'm gonna say the RS takes it over the double R in town. You've got a slightly more upright seating position. The bars come higher up, closer to you, and they're obviously wider and flatter bars as well. It's a fair bit more comfortable than the double R. Less weight on your wrists as well. It's actually very, very easy and feeling really, really nice. No, it's starting to drizzle a bit. What's going on? The rain's forecast for later. Oh, God, I like this bike. Woo! What's it like on faster roads, on your dual carriageways? Not that this bike was really designed for that, but let's do it. Yeah, funnily enough, it's it's got its benefits and its downsides, obviously, compared to the double R on sort of longer roads, if you were planning on going on a tour or something. So the double R has its fairing, it's sort of smaller, old school, classic styled fairing. So you are getting more wind protection. Obviously this is a naked motorcycle, you're getting zero wind protection, but it's clean air. A benefit of the RS on these roads is the comfort. It's a fair bit more comfy than the double R. Like, the double R's not a really extreme riding position, but it has got clip-on handlebars. It is slightly more length forward. There's a bit more weight on your wrists, possibly even more of an acute angle on your legs as well. So the RS is much more road focused and comfortable on the road. I definitely am preferring the riding position on the RS so far. I could ride for longer on this bike. Get her on some twisties to find out what she's really like. So first off, the engine is, well, as I was saying, it's a Triumph triple, but it's that typical triple engine that really, like, I think genuinely is the best of both worlds, from a twin and a V4. It's got loads of go. Loads of torque low down. Nice to just that strong pull to pull you through the rev range, but then at the same time it's so nice to ring out and just use the rev range and ring it out to the top of the rev. So it's such a great combination of both benefits of a twin motor and a V4. 180 brake horsepower, give or take. It's not a mental fire-breathing 200 brake horsepower superbike, but then it's a hell of a lot of power. It's not really up there with the V4S Street Fighter etc. with 200 brake horsepower. It's more with the sort of KTM 1290 Super Adventure, and often people worry, is that too much power for the road? And it's a good question. I think on this and the RR, same engine guys, all the same specs, I genuinely don't think it is too much. I would be one to say it is. I'm one of those guys, but on this bike, on this setup with this motor, I don't think it's too much. I'm having an absolute blast on this, and I'm not going that fast. It's just nice to have that extra torque, that extra meat in the mid-range to use. I mean, I actually found the KTM 1290 a little bit much. This is similar power figures, less torque, but similar power figures, and this feels better. This feels better for the road to me, more usable. Oh, and just absolute quality. Really does ooze luxuriousness. But that is the same in the RR and the RS. Right, let's just move on to the brakes and the suspension, and then we'll get on to really comparing the two bikes. So the brakes, you've got obviously 4-pot, I believe it's two 320mm discs up front, Brembo Stylema brakes, so top of the range stopping system there, and you can really feel it. They're incredible. The brakes are just incredible. So the suspension, RS in particular, got a lot of stick when it first started off from the press for being too stiff suspension, too stiff a ride. It is on the firmer side, but I think it's fantastic. It's damped just brilliantly. Even for these are quite bumpy roads I'm on at the moment. Well, there's a bit of a bump, but it can handle them. I really wouldn't say it's too stiff, this suspension. I'd say it's just set up perfectly for sports road riding, which is exactly what Triumph designed this bike for. Of course, you can adjust it, your preload, compression, etc. to set it up, but this is straight out the box, the way Blade Motorcycles have set it up. And by the way, a huge thank you to Blade again for letting me ride this bike and compare it to the RR. Two top of the range premium Triumph motorcycles that Blade have got there in both these specs, the black, which is my favourite in the RS, and the red, which is my favourite in the RR. They've got both of those on demo, guys, so if you want to get down, potentially give them a call. Potentially you could arrange a back-to-back test ride to see which one you like. It is well worth it, so thank you for that, Blade. 830mm seat height, and they're both 199 kilograms wet weight, so they're not heavy bikes. They're not super light, but they're not heavy at all, and they both handle well. But standing out to me is this RS genuinely a fair bit preferring the handling on this bike than the RR. I really am. I think it's partly down to it just being a naked bike with the riding position, the handlebars slightly higher up, slightly more comfortable riding position. It's better for on the road, guys, handling wise. It just feels, it makes more sense. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this RS version, I've got to say. I'm actually enjoying it more than the RR. I didn't think I would, but it is making complete sense for road riding. In all honesty, quick stop just to talk over a few of the specs and what I think of the bike. You can keep your Speed Triple RR, you can keep your Ducati V4S, you can keep your KTM Super Duke 1290. For me, the RS trumps all of them. This is almost the perfect road sports bike, super bike. It is so nice. A lot of it is personal opinion, but every now and then you come across a bike where everything just works and gels for your specific wants from a motorcycle. This 1200cc triple engine, along with the suspension, the brakes, the chassis, the whole package and feel of this bike to me is just everything I want from a creamy smooth premium sports naked motorcycle. The RS has got it. I'm surprised. I definitely prefer the looks of the RR still. However, this thing doesn't look bad. It looks awesome with the gold forks against the black paint as well. Like I said again, but the build quality from Triumph here, premium build quality. Just the whole package is a great riding experience on the road. It is as premium as it comes. Look at that Ohlins suspension. Oh, 43mm, 120mm travel at the front, along with the Brembo's braided line Stylema brakes. As we come around to the rear, look at this setup. Again, Ohlins suspension, 120mm travel, fully adjustable here, compression and rebound. Just everything about the bike oozes quality. I love it. Sorry, grass. Pop it in sport, easily done, and see how she rides. So I often find a lot of especially fast motorbikes, powerful sports bikes, when you put them in sport mode, they sort of fall apart. Like, not fall apart, but they just become a little bit much, a little bit snappy throttle response, a little bit scary, to be honest, for on the road. In sport mode, this bike, it's not ruined. It's great. It really doesn't make the ride too harsh. Obviously it's not electronic suspension, so it's not adjusting the suspension through the mode settings, but the throttle response, the engine, the delivery, it doesn't ruin it. It's not too rabid. Like, I'm in sport now, just going through town, and it's very docile, it's very easy, it's not a snappy throttle at all, just cruising around. And then when we get on the quicker roads, that is what a sport setting on a motorcycle like this should be. It just works. It just makes everything slightly tighter, slightly more responsive and creamier. It doesn't ruin the ride. The handling on this thing is the best handling motorcycle I've ever ridden. Refuel immediately. God, that's pretty intense. Not sure why it needs to be such a strong message on this bike compared to any other. We've still got loads of fuel left, we'll be fine. So in case you're really interested, it's got a 15.5 litre fuel tank, same as in the RR. Yeah, it's a reasonable sized fuel tank, I think. I think we can, yeah, no complaints there at all. Okay, I'm just going to pop it back into road mode, and yeah, just calm down a bit. I get slightly carried away with this bike because when I first jumped on it, everything came together immediately, and it just feels so good. But to give a balanced review, I'm going to try and get onto a few negatives. So, think of the negatives. So compared to the RR, being really realistic now, I just love the style of the RR and the colour scheme as well in the red. That retro sports sort of racer style, cafe racer fed motorcycle, but then it's got like all of the modern technology, you know, it's just got all the bells and whistles. It's such a good combination, and I really want that bike just to look at in the garage. I think it's stunning. However, for on the road riding, I think practicality wise and for actually using, I think this RS is better than the RR for actually using. If you just want a piece of art and a stunning motorcycle that's very capable, then the RR is ideal. But if you want that slight better handling, I'm going to say slightly more comfort for on road, better for road use motorbike, then the RS is the one for you. And if it was my money, oh, I don't know, it's really tough because the RR just does look so good, doesn't it? I think I'm going to say I would go for the RS if it was my money. Save myself nearly £2,000, £2 and a bit thousand pounds, and have the motorbike that is pretty much and possibly better riding motorbike than the RR. And you're saving a few grand. I would go for the RS, decision made. However, if I won the lottery, I would have both, and I would just look at the RR in the garage and maybe take it to a bike meet and show it off a bit. So we're on the mode dual cam. Let's demonstrate the quick shifter. Just goes straight up through the gears. It's gorgeous. I would say one thing, that's maybe, I mean, it's not a negative, but one thing I would change is the exhaust. It sounds really nice, Nice induction noise when you build up the revs, like there. But yeah, I'd probably put an end can on it just to liven it up a bit, make it that bit more naughty. Much more of an involving riding experience. Another negative, okay, so I said the suspension was perfect earlier, which I do think it is fantastic, but now I've gotten on some smoother roads, I realise that it is a little bit firm actually. On the bumpier country lanes, I was on some pretty bumpy roads there, but you could feel it. It was a little bit firm, so yeah, I mean, you just adjust it yourself. I would soften that off a touch, I think. However, on these smoother roads, get it on a nice flowing A road, or take it to the Alps, in the Swiss Alps on their roads, you're in absolute heaven. Other than that, no more downsides for me, guys. Absolutely none. So, standout feature of the 1200 RS, of course the engine. But I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with its handling. The handling is phenomenal on phenomenal on this bike. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's just really, really good. It's so smooth. It fills you with confidence. And I've actually found myself, I'm surprised because it's a big, powerful bike, but I've found myself pushing this further than a lot of other lower CC bikes that I ride. So yeah, and it's just absolutely plush. I'm not sure I want to go too technical into it, but it's the dimensions of the bike, the rake of the front wheel, you know, everything just comes together along with the Ohlins suspension. The handling is fantastic, better than on the double R, especially for road riding. Ooh, catch the lights. It's the benefit of that quick shifter in town. It's like so easy. We just caught it in time, guys. Here comes the rain. So another thing I really like about this bike, it's not the most technical thing, but the bar end mirrors, much better than on the double R, those big stalky things. That is a downside to the double R. Love the mirrors on the RS. And here we are back at Blade Motorcycles, and there's the double R. Look at her. Oh, so nice. It's a nice looking bike, but my money would go with the RS still. Many thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see my review on the double R, I shall pop it up on the screen right now. Take a look at that. It is a stonking bike. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like the video, and I shall see you in the next one. Stay happy, keep riding. Ciao bella.